Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. This is Tasha M. Dyer, and I want to officially, yes, I said officially, welcome each and every last one of you all to our Trading Academy. So as you log in, I want to make sure you go ahead and drop it in the chat where you're calling in from. We're definitely going to get this call started for you in just a moment, but I do want to let each and every last one of you guys know that this is official. You are here. You have joined us for our very first Trading Academy. BYOB is officially its own Trading Academy. So welcome to our first live call under this umbrella, under this platform. And I do want to personally invite each and every last one of you all to a webinar to find out more information, to understand how you can officially be part of that, because Zoom is temporary. I do want to let you guys know we will not be broadcasting on Zoom. We will not be broadcasting live like this. You must be enrolled in order to take advantage of this platform. So make sure that you go to our website, BYOB, and Ms. Graham is going to show it to you in just a moment, but BYOB Movement Worldwide. Join our webinars and understand exactly how you can get enrolled and you can take advantage. But with that, I'm excited. Welcome. And you guys already know, you've heard her voice for over a year. She's been on a platform. She's empowered so many people. So many lives have been changed. People understanding the skill set, people understanding exactly what needs to happen and what to do. So I'm going to move out of the way and we're going to get the party. We're going to get this show on the road. We're going to get this party started. And I'm going to turn this over to none other than Miss Evelyn Graham. Miss Graham, are you there?
I am certainly here. Thank you for that, Miss Tasha M. Dyer. It's always a joy for me to be on this call. And I'm really excited that you've all chimed in this morning to see what it is that we have in store for you. Well, once again, this is your very own certified basics educator, Evelyn Graham, the queen of the charts. And I'm so happy that we all can be here this morning. So welcome once again. I take that time to welcome you as well. And guess what? Today is Monday, Money Making Monday. I hope you all remember this is Monday, and what we do on Mondays is Money Making Monday, the 13th day of March, 2023. So as you have all logged on already, I will just remind you that we normally do something in the mornings at this time, and that is to put your affirmations in the chat. That is the best way we could start our morning off. So go ahead and drop those affirmations in the chat. I can see where you're calling in from already, so just go ahead and drop those affirmations in the chat. I'm also aware that there was a change in the times for the US. So once again, just be mindful. For those who might not have been aware, there is a time change. And so we want, especially for those who are outside of the United States, that we log on at least for the next 2 weeks, I believe this week, next week, and it's going to be an hour earlier on our end. UK, Europe, it's an hour earlier. So be mindful that there is a time change. And yes, of course, we are still the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you. So go ahead and drop those affirmations in the chat. I'm going to share my screen with you now, because what I want you all to recognize is you are part of a spectacular, a special movement. The Be Your Own Bank movement, BYOB movement worldwide. So as you can see on my screen, I'm sure you can see on my screen what I'm sharing. I hope you're all able to see by now, because sometimes my share can be lagging sometimes. That we want you all to be able to see the progress that we're making, and it's a process. And I want you to stay with me this morning, because we want you all, in order to find out what BYOB is all about, you need to all join our next webinar session. So I need you to register now. And how about becoming an affiliate today? Well, that's really quite simple to do. We just need you to sign up with BYOB. And let me say, our website, as you are, some of us new this morning, and for those who are just coming back, but you probably forgot, let me help you here, BYOBmovementworldwide.com, our website. So how do you get to these information? You just need to go to our website. And something else that I must mention as well, you're able to see that on here as well, and that is our BYOB Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how excited we are about getting our summits out there for everyone to know about us. You know we're already having worldwide impact, and we need you to be aware that we have 2 summits this month. We have one in Jacksonville, Florida, and you need to register for that one because guess what? It is this coming Saturday, the 18th of March, and it's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's Jacksonville, Florida. Reserve your spot. And then there is another one coming the following weekend on the 25th of March, and that is going to be in Cleveland, Ohio at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You simply can't afford to miss these events. How do you register? Well, you would need to go to your search engine and type in for the Cleveland, Ohio, BYOB Movement Cleveland.eventbrite.com. And for the one in Jacksonville, you would need to type in BYOB Movement JAX.eventbrite.com. And as you see me scrolling down, I hope that we all would have had our BYOB mobile app by now. But if you haven't done so, go ahead and download our BYOB Movement Worldwide app now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to become an affiliate. There is lots in store for you to receive. So again, you get more information once you log on and come on to our upcoming webinars. We have our webinars on Sundays, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on a Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why would you not want to experience what we are going to be doing this year, a year of elevation? And of course, you can't not be part of what we are doing. So again, you can see on the screen, we have our BYOB Trading Academy. We're looking at also BYOB funding. We have our shop. Yes, you need to know that we have different things for you to buy. And of course, you need to have that. And of course, we need to show you all the information, education on real estate services. So we are going to go ahead this morning. And without any further ado, let me just welcome everyone once again to this live trading analysis call. As Ms. Dyer alluded to earlier, it will not always be available on Zoom. So please make sure you get the opportunity now and enroll. Yes, we will offer these calls on social media for you, but only for a few weeks. So you understand the variety that BYOB is offering. So if you want to obtain the training and resources that BYOB has brought and offered, then you're going to have to be enrolled into our platform. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you know I can't wait to get onto the charts. So that's exactly what I am going to do. We are going to get onto the charts. But before we do, let me see if you're still aware, alert, what we do first. Before we get onto our charts, what do we normally do? Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and drop it in the chat for me. Let me see what you're thinking. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can see you're all on the ball. So 2023 did not take away our memories, no memory loss. So we're going to go straight on to my FX book. You know, we look at 3 financial news sources, and that's my FX book, FX Street, and Forex Factory. 3 news sources. And the reason why we do so, well, we cross-reference. We look for those red folders that have high impact news release, and we cross-reference to make sure we have not missed out on any news release that will have a high impact on our market or trades. So let's look on my FX book. And of course, I'm not ignoring the TAG. We will do that in a moment. So my FX book, what are we seeing? I'm not seeing any red folders this morning before we get on the charts. No red folders. But what I can see is that, yes, at 10 o'clock, which is 10 a.m. GMT time, we are actually seeing a medium impact coming out shortly. And I believe for the US, it is going to be around 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we haven't got any red folders. We may get some impact from the medium, but red folders, we get the real juice from the high impacts. Later on this evening, we can see AUD has news coming out. So ladies and gentlemen, this evening, there will be AUD news at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 red folders. And I'll quickly check for FX Street. What are we seeing for FX Street? We're not seeing any red folders, so we are red folders bare. We are bare of red folders on FX Street, and I'll explain why we probably do not have so much red folders this morning. And as you can see for Forex Factory, pretty much no red folders, not even a medium impact. So just as well, we have a look at all 3, because at least my FX book had a medium impact on there. And what I can say is that Friday was NFP. NFP was on Friday, and we know what happens on NFP. We get lots and lots of news, red folders, lots of impact on the market, and we get a lot of movement with our trades. So it's no surprise this morning. First Monday after NFP, the market is usually quite slow, and so that's why we are not that surprised. What we are seeing here is that we are not having any red folders this morning until for AUD, we are having that later this evening. So this morning, no red folders, ladies and gentlemen, no red folders this morning. But later on, we will see 2 red folders for AUD. For those who are new to the call, just be mindful that when we have red folders, we trade after we have the news release, not before. So we do not jump into trades before the red folders. Before the news release, we wait until after the news release, give it at least an hour to settle, and then the news should take effect, the news release should take effect, and then we should have a trade that is moving in the direction that we would like to trade. So do not forget, fundamentals move the market. So you wait. Your technical analysis will help you identify when a currency pair is either buying or selling, but it's the fundamentals that actually move the market. So we are here this morning. We are starting off with my favorite strategy this morning, and that's the BYOB cash out strategy. It is my favorite strategy. So for those of you who would like to put it in the chat, those TAGs, go ahead. I would always do this. I'm going to salute the mastermind team. Without the mastermind team, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how hard they've been working to get us onto a new platform. And we need to recognize the hard work that they're doing. So at this time, let me recognize Ms. Tasha M. Dye. She is our co-founder, trade whisperer, and the creator of the BYOB cash out strategy. Let us recognize Mr. Gerald D. Rogers, who is our visionary. He is our founder of the Be Your Own Bank movement, and we are going to thank them this morning. So put all those TAGs in the chat. There is so much more for you to know about what's in the pipeline, but once again, plug into those webinars. Make sure you show up at our summit, and make sure you stay with us. Stay with us. We've got lots in store for you this morning. And now I'm going to be jumping onto the charts. Yes, we are going to be jumping onto the chart. So this is where I'm going to share another screen with you. And you know what we always do? This is a basic score. It's still a basic score. And guess what? You're all going to participate this morning. I am going to share another screen. So let me go ahead and share another screen. It would be nice if I could get the pair up as I prepare to share. And I'm looking at this morning, Euro JPY. Oh my goodness. There's a reason why I'm excited this morning. I'm excited to be back on the platform, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. If you are excited to be back, why do you not put some fire emojis in the chat? Let's see. It's not just myself. I'm sure there are many others excited to be back. Come on, get those fire emojis in and let's trade this morning. So if you're very new, you can actually be a spectator. But if you are not new, you need to be a participator. So let's go. I'm going to now share my screen. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Let me remind you that we are no longer using the vibrator. So I'm hoping that you would have been to our webinars. You would have caught up with all the updates. We are no longer using IML as our vendor. We have our very own platform. And so the trades that we will be looking at, we will now be using TradingView. This is where we focus. This is where we focus on the education. And when you have the education, you get to appreciate market structure. Once you appreciate market structure to the fullest, guess what? You can trade. So now we are on Euro JPY. Let me just ask if you can see my screen with Euro JPY. Drop a 555 in the chat for me. I would just be more comfortable knowing that you can see my screen. Oh, lovely. So Euro JPY it is. And we are looking on the BYOB cash out strategy. If you remember the strategy and you're able to walk me through this morning, I want you to drop a 777 in the chat. If you can remember the BYOB cash out strategy, I want you to drop a 777 in the chat. Remember, you are going to be walking me through the BYOB cash out strategy. Lovely. I need to see more people remembering the strategy because you're going to be helping me this morning to trade live. Hey, setters, you've been on a long holiday. It's time for you to work again. So come on, let's start. I'm on Euro JPY and I'm presently on the 1 hour time frame. Am I on the correct time frame? Drop it in the chat. Which time frame should I be on to start analyzing Euro JPY? And I'm looking for a potential sell. I will explain why, and I believe you will also know exactly why we are looking for a sell opportunity on Euro JPY. 15 minutes time frame. Thank you so much. Ready, steady, go. I am on the 15 minutes time frame, ladies and gentlemen. So we know with the BYOB cash out strategy, we start on the 15-minute time frame. It's our time frame of analysis. Now, we do use indicators, and I have my indicators on. The stochastic is our leading indicator. The stochastic is our leading indicator, and we have our candles. You will notice that I'm using trending candles. They're called the Hikunachi candles. And of course, the dot that you see at the top of the red candles, we call that the PSAR. So you have 3 indicators that we must use on the 15-minute time frame. Again, the stochastic is the leading indicator. So we must start with the stochastic. Okay, it's a must that we start with the stochastic. It is our leading indicator. What should we be seeing for a potential sell opportunity? We must see the blue line below the red line pointing downwards for the stochastic. Now, I want you all to recognize that I'm not asking you right now to be pace setters. I am just doing an overview quickly. So I will ask you shortly how we go about it, but I'm just giving you the overview. So we must see the blue line below the red line pointing downwards. And of course, we must see red candles, but on top of that, they must have a flat top. When you're on the 15 minutes time frame, the red candles for a sell opportunity must have a flat top. And above the flat top red candle, you must have the PSAR at the top. So you must really and truly have 3 indicators in agreement and in alignment on the 15-minute time frame. And now I'm going to move to my 1 hour time frame. Once again, I'm doing an overview. So what do I need to see on the 1 hour time frame? Number 1, it is my time frame of confluence. My 1 hour time frame is my time frame of confluence. I must have 2 indicators on my 1 hour time frame. What do I need to see? Well, once again, we need to see the leading indicator first. That's where you default your eyes to, the stochastic, our leading indicator. So for those of you who are new, that's where you default your eyes to first. It doesn't matter which time frame you're on, you must look at the stochastic first. And for a potential sell opportunity, it must be, the blue line must be pointing below the red line, pointing downwards. Once again, the second indicator is the candle. It has to be a red candle. You do not have to have a flat top red candle, but it must be a red candle, our time frame of confluence. And then I'm going to move to our time frame of entry, and that's the 5-minute time frame. What are we seeing on the 5-minute time frame? Well, what we should see is the stochastic, our leading indicator, should show the blue line pointing below the red line, and it should be pointing in a downward direction. In this case, that's not happening, but that's what you should see on the 5-minute time frame for your time frame of entry. And of course, a red candle. That is a must. Now, if you are new to trading, this is a recommendation or a suggestion that you wait for a flat top red candle. When you're new to trading, then we do recommend that you go for a red candle which has a flat top. Now, we do not have to have the PSAR on top as long as it's a red candle, preferably with a flat top if you're new to trading. So this is what we expect to see when we're looking for a potential sell on a currency pair. This is an overview. And now we are going to trade live in the market. So what we've just looked at is a trade that is live, but I've actually just done an overview. Now I'm going to ask you to pay attention, follow me, pace setters, help me to trade Euro JPY for a potential sell. So I'm going to be back on my 15 minutes time frame. And of course, we need 3 indicators to be in alignment. What are we seeing, pace setters? What are we seeing? We're seeing the blue line below the red line. Yes, we are. And if you have been with us for a little while, we know that when we are around that 20 marker, so again, you notice I looked at my stochastic first because it is my leading indicator. And I am seeing the blue line below the red line, but I have gone below this 20 marker. And you know, around the 20 marker or below, we know that we are oversold. So that means if you're new, we have been in a sell mode for a period of time, and we've come to the point where we are oversold. So we're oversold on the 15-minute time frame. And when we are in an oversold position, we know the next move is that price will correct itself. So in this case, we are oversold. So we know that this trade would not be ready just yet because we are oversold we would need to wait for price to correct itself. So stochastic, we know we would need to wait for stochastic to get ready. And of course, we are seeing a red candle with a flat top. That's what we need to see, and a PSAR at the top. And it's time to move along to another time frame. Now, pace setters, you've been with us for a little while. Drop it in the chat. Let us know which time frame is our time frame of confluence. For those who are new, feel free to drop it in the chat as well, because I've just done the overview. Correct. And you know I like when you actually spell it out. So it is the 1 hour time frame. But what is the 1 hour time frame? What is it? What is that 1 hour time frame? So we know the 15 minutes is our time frame of analysis. What is our 1 hour time frame? Thank you very much. It is our time frame of confluence. And now I'm moving along to our time frame of confluence. And that is where we are now. So again, it's the same market. We're just looking at it from a different viewpoint. And now what you're seeing, once again, stochastic, blue line is pointing below the red line. That's what we need to see. And we are seeing a red candle. And that's exactly what we need to see when we are trading live in the market. Now, this is a live trade, so we may be able to make some money on this trade. Now, there is something else that I would be happy if you have noticed. If you've noticed what I have noticed, then I want you to drop it in the chat. Have you observed anything? On the 1 hour time frame, we have a little bit more than 2 things that we needed to see. Stochastic blue below the red, pointing downwards, and we're seeing a red candle. But there's something else that I'm seeing. Are you seeing that as well? I know you would. One more thing. Come on, yes, a flat top red candle. So that tells us we are seeing some momentum to the downside, aren't we? And it's a lovely big red candle as well. We love that. We've seen some momentum to the downside. And on top of that, we have a second indicator here, which is the PSAR. So we got a flat top. That's an additional. And we've got the PSAR at the top. And actually, we call that bonus. That's our name for it. Okay. So we have a bonus, and that looks good. And that's why I'm excited about Euro JPY this morning. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go to another time frame. So what time frame is that other time frame? What time frame is that other time frame? And you know, I like to see that 4 hour, but you need to make sure you give me the full information. So for those who are new, they will remember what they see. So give that information to me, please. I would be totally grateful. So, yeah, I am not seeing that in the chat yet. So, in light of time, I will remind you if you've forgotten, it's our time frame of authority. I would love to take that one, but I'd prefer authority. Thank you. Right, so we are going to look at our time frame of authority, our time frame that gives us direction. And yes, you're still right. I was just pulling your legs. So here we are on our time frame of authority. And as Miss Dyer would love to put it, the head of the house. So we get lots of clues when we are on the 4 hour because it gives us direction. So ladies and gentlemen, we see on the 4 hour time frame or time frame of authority, stochastic, blue line pointing below, red line pointing downwards. Okay. And what we're seeing also is we're getting some other, put it in the chat, what are we actually getting? We're getting other confirmations, aren't we? Yeah, we're getting a flat top red candle. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Now, this is what I'm talking about. We're getting a flat top red candle and we're getting a peace hour at the top. Can you see why I was hovering on this candle? We got a new candle, ladies and gentlemen, on the 4-hour time frame, and it's a flat top red candle. So we're looking good on the 4-hour time frame. We're looking super good. So let's top down. You remember what we do when we top down, don't you? So when we top down, I'm going to be topping down to a smaller time frame. What time frame is that smaller time frame? Okay. Yes, I was on the smaller time frame already, but guess what? We got a new candle, or we need to wait an hour. Okay, so we got a new candle on the 1 hour. Thanks for the heads up. So we are still seeing a flat top on the 4-hour. And the new 1 hour candle is a flat top red candle. So let's see. We need to have good entry. We need to have good entry. So if I need to have good entry, I need to make sure I top down to my 15-minute time frame first. And you know what? I think we're still oversold. Now, would you want to enter the trade on knowing that we're oversold on this time frame? Put it in the chat, yes or no. I know we just got a lovely new candle on the 1 hour, but there is a but. Correct. What am I going to wait for? So on my lower time frame, I need to wait for what? Drop it in the chat. I need to wait for something on my lower time frame, my 15-minute time frame. What is it I need to wait for? So I'm looking good on my bigger time frames, but on my 15, correct. I'm looking for that correction. So ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter how good a trade looks. Always look at your smaller time frame for that correction, because when it corrects, when price corrects and you get into the trade, you have so much more pips to get. What do I mean by that? Well, as you can see on my 15 minutes time frame, I expect price to move to the upside for price to correct. So I expect that price will move to the upside. And when it moves to the upside, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When it moves to the upside, what happens? It moves to the upside. Then when it moves to the upside, price starts to fall, and hooray, you can get your pips. So we want price to move to the upside. We want price to correct. And then when price moves down, you are able to get the right amount of pips that you need. So once again, let me remind you, we trade between support and resistance levels in the market. We trade between support and resistance levels. So it means you can collect your pips as price moves down. So here we are waiting for price to correct on the 15 minutes time frame. So we know on the 4-hour, we have good direction here, flat top red candle. And we also have a peace hour at the top. And of course, our stochastic was pointing in the correct direction, but we must wait. Let me remove this line. Once again, that's stochastic. We need to see that blue push some more below the red. So we need to wait. And of course, 1 hour, we're already looking good, but 15 minutes, we need to see that pullback. And once we see that pullback, we are going to be able to move to our 5 minutes for entry. So for 5 minutes, we need to get entry. So when price moves up, once again, price will correct. And when price corrects, we are going to get in and get a lot more pips when price corrects, because then price will start to move down and you're going to be able to collect all those pips as price moves down. So again, we need to wait on the 15 minutes for correction and the 5 minutes as well to correct, and we can get in and take our trade on Euro JPY, making our first day back in trading a money-making Monday. So that, ladies and gentlemen, puts us already in a winning position. Now, we need to move along. If you have understood what we have just done, and the BYOB cash out strategy is more easier to understand, you're seeing where you can cash out and get your pips, and of course, start putting your 777s in the Telegram community, then I want you to drop those 555s in the chat for me. We are off to a big, strong start. So let's go ahead and drop those 555s in the chat. And of course, we are going to move on to look for another trading opportunity. So I'm going to remove this and look for another opportunity to trade. So here we are. I'm on Trading View, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm using, Trading View. And I'm now going to be looking for another trade, another JPY trade, because apparently JPY must be very strong. JPY must be very strong. And I'm looking at GBP, JPY. And that's because GBP and Euro, we're in the same region. So I'm happy to look at GBP, JPY as well. And here we go. Pace setters, where do I start? And you're going to help me along. You are going to help me along. This time on GBP, JPY, I'm going to put in those support and resistance levels for you to see. So as you take your trade, when you have your entry, you'll be able to see, you will be able to see that you're moving from one support and resistance level to another. And that's why we love using the BYOB cash out strategy. It is a market strategy with a twist. So you can get as much pips as you would like using the BYOB cash out strategy. So we are on GBP JPY. And I want you to tell me, how do I find my support and resistance levels in the market when I start doing the analysis? So here we are, GBP JPY. This year, we must have the education. We must be able to apply it because we're taking you to a whole new level with your trading. So where is our pace setters? All right, 15-minute time frame. Now it's all over to you. What's next? What is next? What is next? This one is quite straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. You will understand why I say that. We've just looked at Euro JPY, so it will follow suit here, what we've just done. So yes, 15-minute time frame. We're now on the 15-minute time frame. We must have 3 indicators in agreement or in alignment. And we can see that our blue line on our stochastic is crossing or trying to cross. So we know that's not ready. And we're getting a red candle with a wick at the top. And we know we must see a flat top. So we know we're not ready on the 15-minute time frame. PSAR is actually in the correct position. So that's fine. But we need to wait for a leading indicator, our stochastic, and we need to wait for that flat top red candle. So I'm not surprised that we are seeing something similar to what we've seen on Euro JPY. It's quite similar. Price is correcting itself. And it's time to move to our time frame of confluence. And oh, wow, am I seeing right? Someone who is quite new is answering. Wow. I love that. So that means we're doing a good job. And that's why we like when you put it in the chat, type it out, put it in the chat. So our newer traders can actually grasp the concept quicker. So now we are seeing that we need to move on to our time frame of confluence, the 1 hour time frame. Let's get to the 1 hour time frame. So ladies and gentlemen, are you happy that we have our two indicators that we need? Put a yes for yes or a no for no. Are you happy that we have two indicators in agreement? Correct, we do. Stochastic, we have our blue below the red pointing downwards. We have a red candle. That's all we need. But luxury, we have an additional confirmation, and that's a flat top. And on top of that, we have another confirmation, and that is a PSAR at the top. So we're looking good on the 1 hour or a time frame of confluence. Now it's time to move along. Our time frame of authority, that time frame that gives us direction, drop it in the chat. Yes, thank you for using it. Yeah, we are having a bonus on the 1 hour. And yes, the 4 hour is our time frame of authority. Let's see. I love that. I love that. I love how my stochastic, my blue is really looking like it wants to turn down now. So I love that. So it wants to turn down, but again, we are aware price is correcting itself. So yes, we are having a red candle, and we have PSAR, blue line below the red. We only need 2 on the 4 hour time frame, only 2 indicators. And we can see here 2 indicators. But again, we're having the bonus, which means additional confirmation. We're having a flat top red candle and a PSAR at the top. So we're definitely getting those additional confirmation, telling us that there is momentum for that sell. It's okay to see price moving up because we were expecting that on the 15-minute time frame. So you actually see that better when you're on a lower time frame, okay? And that's why we do the top-down analysis, because the bigger time frame, they give you direction, but you actually get to see when price is correcting a lot better on the smaller time frame. So again, I'm going to top down. And when I top down, I will be topping down to a lower time frame, and that's the 1 hour time frame. So there we are. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed on the 1 hour time frame. And what I can say is the 15-minute time frame, we must have 3 indicators. But once again, we must see the blue line below the red pointing downwards. But we can say that we've seen where we were selling. We got to that 20 marker. We got to that 20 marker, and we are below that 20 marker. When we are approaching that 20 marker, we know we are approaching that oversold territory. So yes, we are oversold. So we expect price to correct. So we're expecting price to move up. And when price moves up, we expect to get more pips when we see price starts to fall. And we are in to that trade to get as many pips as we can. Once again, we trade from support and resistance to another. So what are those support and resistance that we're talking about? What's that? Well, I believe the line charts will be able to show us. So that line chart helps you to spot those support and resistance level. Now, anyone on this call remembers what that support or resistance level is in the market? Anyone brave enough to put it in the chat? So we are looking for support and resistance. You notice I said support and resistance, not just support or just resistance. I'm actually talking about both a support and resistance. So it's a level where you actually see price rejecting off there. Well, you do get that at psychological levels. Thank you. That's what I want you to tell me. So yes, you can actually, yes, areas where we have rejection, 3 or more areas. Okay. So it's a level where you can see rejection. So help me here Help me here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to tell me if I'm correct. Okay? I want you to tell me if I'm correct. Okay, so now I want to put a support and resistance there. Actually, I'm going to change the color to blue. Would you actually agree that I could put a support and resistance level there? Based on your very own definition. Correct. So as of now, as you log on to these calls, I want you to be able to spot those support and resistance levels in the market. You need to be able to spot them. Okay? At this point, I'm on the 15-minute time frame. And of course, you can also draw them on a bigger time frame as well. Those support and resistance levels. Now, at the moment, what we're seeing here is this is a support, that's a support, and that's a support there. Now, there are times when I want you to look for those support and resistance, which means it acts as both a support as well as a resistance. So when you actually see a trade in a strong sell, like this one, then if you put your lines where you see support as well as resistance, once you break those levels, you're in for a good trade. And you can trade between one support and resistance to another. Is that clear? If you need more clarity, drop it in the chat. Support and resistance. You're going to start trading between support and resistance levels in the market. So if I were to take this off and I go to the 1 hour time frame, I want to see if you remember what that is about. It needs to be a support and a resistance at the same time. So I'm going to tag it. No, not tag. Put a horizontal line there. Okay. So I'm going to be right here. Okay. How do you feel about that line? Is it a support as well as a resistance line? Now, this is where I want you to be on this class in the mornings. You need to be able to recognize a support and a resistance line. You need to be able to draw it where you see resistance as well as support. Do you have a good understanding? Drop a 777 in the chat. I need you to be at this level because we are about education, 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 and we're going to start relying less on tools, tools, tools. We're going to make you very independent. So I need you to be able to see what you need to see. So you can look to the left here on the 1 hour. And what are you seeing where you see the hand there? What are you seeing there? Can you see what am I pointing at? Is that support or resistance? Right there. Is that support or resistance? Correct. Correct. And that's also resistance. And there is resistance on this one as well. But right here, what am I seeing here? Drop it in the chat. What am I seeing here? Drop it. Correct. You're seeing support. So this line is acting as both a support and resistance line. Are you getting it now? If you're getting it, I really want you to put those 777s in the chat now, because I need you to get this to move to the next stage, okay? We have lots in store for you, because once you can master the education, you can trade anytime, anywhere, and you're not dependent on tools. Right, so this is a support level in the market. This is a support or resistance. Drop it in the chat. Is this a support or is it a resistance? drop it in the chat. Let me just make sure you do understand this. Okay, we have a leader this morning. Correct. So now I believe that you have a good understanding of a support and a resistance. It's acting as both a support as well as a resistance level. So I want you to be able to start when you're taking your trade, you need to go into your line chart and you need to recognize what those levels are, identify them, draw your line, and you're going to start trading between a support as well as the resistance level. Not always just a resistance or a support, but both. That way, you're going to be able to collect a lot of pips. Okay? And that is where you will appreciate the fact that we have our very own platform. We have our very own education where we can take trades and rely less on tools, because once you have the education and you've mastered it, you are able to trade anywhere, anytime, and catch hundreds of pips and even 1,000 pip days. So this is where we want you to be, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're able to see the market, or start to see the market a lot better. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my candles. Okay. And now that we are back on GBP, JPY, you are understanding when I say I want you to take your trades and trade between the support and resistance levels in the market. You now know what I mean. Correct? So now, ladies and gentlemen, you see we're approaching the end of this call. I want to make sure that when you trade, you understand exactly how to take your trades. So remember, the bigger time frames give you direction. Smaller time frames give you an opportunity to see where price will correct to. You will be able to see price correcting, and you'll be able to start taking your trades. And the time frame of entry is your 5-minute time frame. So here we are on GBP, JPY. This is the 4-hour time frame. We see that we are still looking good with our indicators. Stochastic still looking good. Flat top red candle, which is a good sign. And when we top down to the 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen, we see that we're looking at that downtrend. It's still strong, but we must wait for that correction. And we are seeing that correction taking place right now. So we need to wait for that correction to complete. And always remember, your time frame of entry is the 5-minute time frame. So we're seeing that price is correcting on the 15 minutes time frame. And in order to take this trade, you must see that all time frames are in agreement: 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 5 minutes. All of them must be in agreement. They must all be in agreement in order to take the trade. So our trades for this morning is Euro JPY and GBP JPY. Now, I just also would like to mention that on TradingView, you can save your charts. You're able to save your charts on TradingView. So if you've drawn them up, you just need to leave them. You can go back to them and they will be there. Okay? And another thing to mention is that you can have your watch list. Can you see my watch list here? Someone put a yes in the chat. Can you see my watch list? I have a watch list here. And you can put it in alphabetical order as well. Great. So you can put it in alphabetical order as well. And if I've saved anything on here, it stays there until I remove it. So if I close my computer, I shut my computer down, it doesn't affect my charts. I can always go back and I can always pick up where I've left off. So that's good news. Your TradingView charts can save your drawings that you've made You can always go back. You can make changes, and then you can always go back. And you can have your own watch list. So look at that. That's my watch list. So there you are. You know now, TradingView is slightly different from Vibrata, but then the Vibrata is also another version of TradingView. Okay? So yes, we're going to teach you how to trade just with the education that you need to be able to trade. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have had a morning where you've learned something new, I want you to put those 777s in the chat. And it simply means I'm looking for those 777s in the Telegram community. In the Telegram community, I'm looking out for those 777s. Yes, I see that. Yes, lovely. And at the end of the day, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We have come to the end, or we are coming up to the end of that hour. We're at the end of the hour, literally. And I want to say that I am so excited to be back. And I know you are too. And I want to make this Monday a money-making Monday. So at this point, I am going to say that we are going to have to say goodbye shortly. But before I say goodbye, please remember, we need everyone to be aware that enrollment into the BYOB platform is what we all need to do. We all need to be enrolled on this platform. So if you've still got your subscriptions out for IML, this is the time to cancel. This is the time to sign up to this platform. And we're going to teach you how to trade in this vast market and be able to catch hundreds of pips a day because of the education that we're offering. So once again, thank you too. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to trading tomorrow live in the market with you. And I'm talking Tuesday and Wednesday morning. We will be trading live. This is the BYOB trading platform. And we know that the Zoom will be open for a few weeks for everyone. But then guess what? All good things come to an end. You have to enroll so you can be part of the sessions in the future. And of course, I'm looking forward to having you all on board. Thank you so much. And thank you. I appreciate that. You know, this is my joy being back here. I love what I do. Thanks to Mr. Rogers and Miss Dyer, I'm here and I'm back. Looking forward to it. 2023 is our year of elevation, our year of excellence, our year of greatness. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and I will conclude this call. But before I do, at 9 a.m., we have another session. How can I forget to mention that? How can I forget? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not finished. It's not finished. 9 a.m., we have another call, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we look forward to seeing you all and have a great money-making Monday. God bless.